Hey everyone, I'm Pat Mayo here with the king of RotoExperts. He is fantasy. He is Scott Engel. And today we're going to tell you how to properly make a trade. Because frankly, people don't know how to do that. What's the biggest mistake they make?
Being selfish and only thinking about themselves.
That sounds like me.
Yes, and you have to put yourself not in the shoes, but let's say the owner's box of the other fantasy owner. Think about what they need. Too many owners say, okay, I want Chris Medlin, for instance. And just throw an offer out there, and maybe throw some player out there maybe the owner doesn't even need. What you need to do is not think about a specific player that you want. If you're looking to fill a need, what you need to do is look at the roster grids in your league. If you're looking for extra starting pitching and say you have a surplus maybe of speed, find that team in a league that maybe needs speed and has that surplus of starting pitching that maybe they can deal with you. You have to find out what the other team's strength is, what your weakness is. You have to match up the correct owner in your league. Find the right trade partner first before you decide on the specific player that you want to acquire.
Do you have any sort of suggestion of what sort of trades you like? Do you like 2 for 2s? Do you like 3 for 2s, 2 for 1s? I know generally when people want to try to get the best player from the other one, they offer up the old 3 for 1 with 3 terrible players for your 1 good guys. Or
I
anything.
hate those.
They're terrible. But
I'll tell you what I hate. I hate those because what people are doing, they're trying to stack quantity for your quality, and it's kind of like a Major League Baseball type of trade, where
you get 3 prospects for the good guy.
You get 3 prospects for the good guy. It doesn't work in fantasy baseball. You don't stack up the points and say, okay, this guy in a points league has this many points, and these 3 guys have that many points, so it's fair. That's not what it's about. And the guy who offers the 3 for 1 again is thinking selfishly and it's not thinking about the other owner. The object of a trade should be for yourself. What you think about is to either upgrade or to fill a need. The best trades to me help other owners because then you've effectively thought about it. Of course, if you can rip somebody off,
do it. Yeah, of course.
You do it. But if you're dealing with a smart, savvy owner, maybe somebody like yourself, you have to take a good look at that guy's team and decide what he needs, not just what you need. That's the most basic thing that I think people refuse to follow.
And one thing I will say about the 3 for 1 trade, sometimes you can catch someone and maybe they undervalue 2 of the guys in the trade and it's a complete win for you getting the 3 guys. But a lot of things that people don't look at in these 3 for 1s is that, yeah, maybe you get 3 players for 1 and people will argue that, oh, look at those cumulative stats are way higher than the 1 guy. But then they have to remember that you're going to go pick 2 guys up off waivers too. And even your most basic player that you can pick up off waiver wire probably plus your good guy, more than trumps the other 3 guys.
And here's the other thing is, if you try to find an angle and it's kind of a wacky angle, don't try to oversell it, okay? Don't offer me Carlos Beltran and Johnny Peralta, for Andrew McCutchen like somebody did this week, and try to sell me on the thing saying, you need a shortstop. I'm trying to fill a need for you.
I'm trying to help you.
Yes, I'm trying to help you. This guy needs this, so I want to take his best player. And people will always chase your best player when they're looking for a trade offer. But you also have to know your trade partner too.
But that's tough in some leagues where you don't necessarily know everyone. I know, like in the RotoExperts League, I know everyone, you know everyone, we know the tendencies, and we know how people like to build teams. Well, let's say you're just playing in a random public league, or you're playing in a money league. Start
out with a fair, respectful offer, so you can have trade talks flowing instantly. What I find is, and a big pet peeve of mine, people think that because I'm a New York Mets fan,
Mets,
that they can offer me Lucas Duda and I'm going to take him. You have to know the other owner. I can't believe when I'm in leagues and people offer me lopsided trades and they know I'm a fantasy expert.
Well, I will say that you say that it doesn't apply to you, which is completely fair because you're the king of fantasy. You're not going to be ripped off in a trade like that. But I will say, just even in my home leagues, there are some guys, if they have a favorite team, they're willing to give up a little bit more for a Red Sox
That's
or
what
a
I'm
Yankee.
saying. It's good to know the owner, though. But you know the guy's going to do it, then go ahead and offer it. But then if you know somebody is probably going to laugh at a lopsided trade, you really shouldn't offer it because honestly, when somebody offers me a lopsided offer, maybe 2-3 in a row, I'll actually type to them, leave me alone.
Well, and then I think you hit on an interesting point there. If I get one of these wildly unfair trades, a 2-for-1 for your 2 worst players for my best player, I'm going to reject it. I'm not even going to counter it. I don't want to hear another trade from you again.
Look,
you're on the blacklist.
If you can rip somebody off, go ahead and do it. It's within the rules. I don't want to hear the rest of the league crying about it because it's within the rules. The other thing is there are no friends in fantasy. If you can rip somebody off and you're playing for money, go ahead and do it.
How do you feel about league? When you play in a league, do you prefer commissioner vetoes or just no vetoes in general, unless it's
no vetoes,
unless it's collusion?
No vetoes, unless it's collusion. Which I very rarely see. Let the other owners learn their lessons. And a lot of times when you see unfair trades, sometimes the owners have good reasons for doing them.
Yeah, I remember I played in a football league way back in the day. It was one of the first years I played fantasy, and it was the first year, actually it wasn't the first year, it was like year 5 of our league. And it was the first year Aaron Rodgers played. And he got traded straight up halfway through the year for Chad Johnson. And our commissioner vetoed the trade because he just thought Chad Johnson was too good to be traded for Aaron Rodgers, and he vetoed the trade. The guy didn't get Aaron Rodgers, who ended up being the best fantasy player for the rest of the year, and that guy lost the week because he didn't have him, and it just screwed him for the rest of the year. Because, like you say, sometimes people are trying to buy low and sell high and do things like that. What is your opinion on selling high? Is it something that you should look to do this early in the season, or should you kind of wait?
It really depends on the player. I'm not selling high on Justin Upton.
Unless the right deal is there.
Yeah, nothing in fantasy sports is absolute. If you bowl me over with an offer, that's fine. But if you're going to offer me Carlos Beltran and Johnny Peralta, it's not going to happen.
Fair enough. Scott Engel, Pat Mayo, talking fantasy every week. See you next time.